And hello. This is Psychochronic, aka Psychorarity here. It's been a very long time where I've done an episode of Rarity Talk. This is my little Canadian vlog or show or podcast, whatever you want to call it, that chronicles my time in the Canadian FGC after nearly 20 years. I haven't done an episode in about 5 months. I just felt like doing this one. A little bit of a backlog that I got here with streaming, so here we are with another episode. Episode 74. My TOSF Locals Map. Psychochronic, aka Psychorarity, discusses my TOSF Locals Map from 2005 to 2020. All the local activities I've attended or researched at various locations in exploring Toronto Street Fighter within a 15-year time frame. The 74th episode of hopefully many-part Canadian history lesson, part-time theater, part photo album. Speaking about the Canadian Street Fighter community through my perspective, here we are. We got an extremely, I would say a filler episode on this one. So this is gonna just feature just a little bit of facts, just a little bit of backstory. All right. So I have it split into 3 different chapters, not including the intro or the outro: Arcade Era, Dark Ages / SF4, and then SF5, just to make everything in chronological order. Everything is set within a timeline. Just go through everything in order. So I already have the locals map already uploaded, already published on my custom Google map. So I always start and end in Mississauga. The My Way always must incorporate 2 fares when entering Toronto in the TTC. Some places in map not listed on paper as I haven't personally been there. Some places unlisted in map that don't need to be explained. Unadvertised house casuals are considered private. My house casuals, because I did multiple episodes of this, and G3 Evolution, because I did a solo episode of this. G3 Evolution at the time of 2006 to 2009, they were the Mississauga anime group. So they did their fair share of house casuals back in the day. I don't need to list them here. It's already featured on a previous episode. So here you go. I need a chapter, alright?
Here comes a new challenger!
Alright, first chapter is the Arcade Era. So, from 2005 to 2007, we're going to go to the Games Skybox in Erin Mills Town Center. So, let's just make this easier, I'm going to put myself on a camera corner right here and put this map. Boop. Alright, so I already have the map already loaded. So I already have all the points already in there. So because we start off in the beginning of where I first lived, everything that's considered blue is where I had to travel to. And then for this time frame, and then the next time frame, red, and then the final time frame, green. Alright, so we are going to the Games Skybox, which is the second version. So it's located in Erin Mills Town Center. So I'm all the way here. And yeah, so this is the nearest arcade. So, alright, Erin Mills Town Center. So we had CVS 2, CVS 1, Marvel 2, Marvel 1, Soul Calibur 2, Tekken 5, and Guilty Gear Asuka. So this was basically the primary spot for years for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 being the primary game, CVS 2 being the secondary game. This is basically where all the Mississauga, they were all high school kids at the time, but this is where they all frequented, and, this is how they got their share of the scene. I viewed this as like, okay, I put version 2 because version 1, I said on a previous episode about my humbling and struggling beginnings, is that version 1 was across from the elevator and the Sport Check used to be Cineplex Odeon. Now that all got changed, and when Skybox version 2 shut down, it became now known as a Tim Hortons, so off of parking area B. So this would be the nearest arcade for anyone in back in the time for Mississauga. Campus Cove at York Lanes. Alright, so where are we going to? So Campus Cove at York Lanes is all the way here. York University, and I am located all the way. Where's the blue dot? The blue star. here. So all the way, yeah, north of Jane and Finch, near the Vaughan 407. So this is one of the first venues that I've explored back then when exploring Toronto Street Fighter in January 2005. So this is the games that they had: Third Strike Anniversary Edition, Project Justice, Marvel 2, Fighting Jam, CVS 2, CVS 1, Guilty Gear XX Vanilla, SVC Chaos, Tekken 5. So good thing I have an overview of this. Someone created an overview of this arcade during one of our home majors in T8. So notice that we hosted our home major. We have to fucking bring our own CRTs, bring our own consoles, and set them up on the fucking pool table. This, and then, yep, here we got internet cafe right here. Back then, cell phones, it wasn't as it was now. Person who created this video, Seal Hunter, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 player. Winnipeg versus Ottawa. So yeah, Justin Wong happened to be here. Craymore, which is Dominion's twin brother, happened to be here. He was a Smash player. Noel Brown came here. He was a Smash player at the time. Arturo Sanchez came here. So Justin, Arturo, like four Americans. Thuggish Pond for New York Soul Calibur. J3 Muniz, Korean Devilchin for Dark Resurrection. So this is the first ever console major ever. When the scene was transitioning from arcade to console, we knew we had to switch with the times. Evo, basically the rule is we follow what Evo does. Okay, no problem. We switch to console. Here we go. There's Justin Wong sitting down the floor. So this is the spot on occasion that would be used for monthly tournaments. In case one venue wasn't available or people just wanted to play here for that specific Saturday for a tournament, people would go here. Pretty spacious place, actually. Pretty spacious to have like almost like a 200 people at the time total attendance for a major, for a Canadian major in 2007. Yeah, you see CVS 2 right beside the drum machines. You're seeing fucking Smash Brothers on the pool table. You see Tekken with their little corner right there. That's Soul Calibur in the corner. You see another Tekken group back there. We were just used to playing on the arcades. Times had to change. This is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Justin Wong, Craymore, Noel Brown. Alright. So that is Campus Cove at York Lanes. Alright. Next is Metro Square. Ooh. CVS 2, Marvel 2, Super Turbo, Hyper Fighting, and Virtua Fighter 4 Final Tune. So with Metro Square, how does it link to this scene historically? This is the first time that Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, a tournament was hosted for Super. So, my mouse pad is all the way here, and the blue line, my blue star is all the way there. So this is a very far destination to get to, almost to the Toronto-Markham border. You're almost 5 minutes away from Pacific Mall, which is the next part. So with Metro Square, it's just an Asian-themed mall, and they had, a little arcade corner. So this is the first time that they ever had a Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo tournament, which was won by Bill Gold over David Spence in 2003. And the last footage, if anything, featured a West Coast player by the name of Mo Powell. Either I was told Edmonton, Alberta. Then I was told Maple Ridge, British Columbia. So
Grand finals.
give me only the final match. I just want the final match. So this is Searoyd versus Mo Powell.
Second set. Nihar's up 3-2 on Searoyd.
Yeah, and this is 4 out of 7s. You have to play 4 out of 7. So you have a top third strike player to whom he somehow got into grand finals in CVS 2, and you're facing against a West Coast player.
Just set shit up.
So this I'll watch the grand finals. This is we are in the final match of the grand finals. Might as well. This was taken in November 2004, so 6 to 8 weeks before I actually entered the community.
One more win. That's all you need.
So at this point, I don't exist, but this is one of the very first footages that I found on the internet
Nice. Kick that
while researching both the local FGC, Toronto GTA, whatever, and the general FGC. I was collecting footage at the time, building this Psychorarity YouTube channel. This was almost basically like the start of the early footage that I have. You have footage, don't rob the scene, just upload it. Who cares if, performances were bad? That tournament was a disgrace, and and the footage will never see the light of day. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. It's like, okay.
This will be the last round.
They're playing on I know it's American parts. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a showcase cabinet. I know that the Hyper Fighting in the Marvel 2 is on a showcase cabinet. The Virtua Fighter 4 Final Tune was on a head-to-head versus cabinet. That I know of Metro Square, but I've only been there once. It was the first time I ever met Searoyd and Aneurysm X.
Nice, Marvin. Nice.
So it was a day where they had to have an event at Metro Square, but everyone migrated to Orbit, whatever. Like, okay. So yeah. This is a filler episode, but I want to get at least some type of footage in here. I need background noise. Ooh. Psycho Crusher.
It's almost over. One more cycle.
Ooh, baited.
4-2 victory.
Alright. So that was the first ever West Coast invasion based on my knowledge of the scene. So there you go. We just learned some history. Alright, so that's Metro Square. Alright. Next up is Orbit Entertainment Center in Pacific Mall. So here we are back. So up here. So it's a little east of here. That's where the cursor is, and that's where my little blue star. This is the furthest mission. I call it the Psychochronic commute because it takes 2 buses, 2 Mississauga transits, 2 TTC trains, and 1 TTC bus to get to this venue. Almost 3 hours, and this is all the competition, all the central competition, and all of GTA Toronto, whatever you want to call it. Third Strike, 3 cabinets. Marvel 2, King of Fighters 02, Guilty Gear Reload, converted to Slash. When they converted Guilty Gear from Reload to Slash was the first time they had it at T7. Alright, so T7. Do I have a Slash from T7? Because I'm going to search my channel. They had the whatever upgrade board or the whatever the Naomi whatever GD ROM. So yeah, so we're gonna use T7. I'm gonna showcase this trailer. You know what? Why not? So this is Orbit Entertainment Center, and I am gonna share the pictures that I captured from this event. This would be this in the timeline. This would be my second major, and I've been in this scene about a year and a half. You're trying to go from Xbox Live scrub to, local, tournament player. Toronto Series 7 is coming. Alright, here we are. Get out, and let's go. So, what else? Anniversary Edition we had. Okay, we had Anniversary Edition. Super Turbo and Street Fighter 03, Japanese Alpha 3. Those two boards were specifically owned by Dogberry, and they were lent out for T5 and T7, which got MTLSF, the rival scene Montreal Street Fighter, out of hibernation and show the Canadian scene what is up in their game of Street Fighter Alpha 3. We had Capcom Fighting Jam, we had 2 cabinets of Capcom vs SNK2. We had SVC Chaos, which had a lot of fucking play activity. Then Neo Geo and Rumblefish and Soul Calibur 2 and Capcom Fighting Jam and Anniversary Edition combined. Tekken 5.0, then eventually Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. And then we had a laggy 401 emulation cabinet. So, photo album, okay, that I have. This I'd like to share. This was cool as fuck. So, this was 2006. Yeah, might as well share it. Pacific Mall, Orbit, so you just go upstairs to the top floor. When you get off the escalator, it's just right there. So, yeah, Time Crisis, fucking Tekken 5. The mission to get here, just to get here early, yo, you know how motherfuckers just want to get their fiend on, I just want to get games in too. Everything head to head, everything on Japanese parts. This is all of us in the fucking registration trying to fucking get our just to run the tournament and shit. Someone put a smash, brought a fucking, what is it, a black stripe TV. Well, okay, one of those OG security camera televisions to fucking put in a fucking GameCube for Smash. This is when fucking Dixon and Act defeated Justin Wong's team in Team Grand Finals. This is outside because fucking everyone needs a break and fucking tournament ran 90 minutes late. This is Dixon, Ack, and Adam B with Don Sham, rest in peace, in the picture. Me and Son of a Glitch. Me, David Spence, and Dogberry. Me and Smooth Cat. The game Mario 316. They brought a fucking little sharp VHS TV with. And they plugged in a PS2 because we didn't have a Tekken Tag 1 cabinet. This is EMP. So I see Justin. I see Craymore. I see Noel Brown playing fucking Tetris DS. This is outside the arcade. This is inside the arcade. This is, yeah, more inside shots. Triforce and Farid. Got just so many like I can't translate all the pictures just immediately of who's who. It takes time. But so that was just Saturday. So this is the Sunday part. Tour of the arcade. Boston showed up. Montreal showed up. EMP took a party bus, so that's how they fucking got through the fucking border from New York City. Smoothcat from Xbox Live. Smoothcat and a young JS Master, aka Ichimaru Jin. Me and Smokey, the king of Montreal Marvel. Tekken 5. Dark Resurrection. And back then, people brought their own sticks or pads because they had Namco had those ports. Tekken Tag 1. Team Hate. Me, Jerron, and Norman. And that's it. So this was basically the spot for years to go to, which was Orbit. But the problem is, Orbit eventually became, a redemption arcade, and then they fucking migrated their cabinets and boards, and then that was the end of it. Console took over. Getting here was too far. People didn't. You had players on American sticks that didn't want to play on Japanese sticks. All right. Downtown Funland. Third Strike, Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel 1 CVS 1. Downtown. So, where are we in the map? There. It used to be now I think it's an Aldo. So, Aldo shoes or whatever. So, yeah, Downtown Young and Gould, SVC, Soul Calibur 2, Marvel 2, Marvel 1. So, alright. So, we're downtown, so that means I should have an album of this that I have salvaged. Misc Arcade. Canadian Arcades. Funland Arcade. So, this is all the pictures I was able to salvage from this arcade from back then. We have Arcade, Mama's Pizza, Sunrise Records. Yeah, I'm just gonna bust out the picture in maximum. It's very grainy pictures. Funny how I did a Western Canada type episode and featured their arcades. I just never featured ours. So finally, it's about fucking time. Third Strike. So you had people that did play Third Strike early on back then from the in the downtown area. Samir, aka Jay Beezy, is one of them. He was a very intelligent kid, and this is where he practiced. He doesn't have a stick at home, doesn't play on Japanese sticks, doesn't even have a console at home. This is where he plays at. Please be advised that Funland will be closing for its last day of business at midnight, July 22, 2008. It is mad expensive to maintain these machines. Toronto rent, fucking. There's a video of the fucking change guy watching porn and people doing. I'll bet you people were doing drug deals here and shit. Yeah, this is somebody else's video, and I just got whatever the best screen caps I could. I've been here at least 3 or 4 times. Do I have any? I think I do have footage from this place. I'll search it up on my channel after. Wow, that is grainy ass pictures. CVS 1, Neo Geo. Alright, and yeah, that's it for the photo album. But let's see. Funland. There is a person who plays Third Strike who goes by the name No More Funland. Oh, Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. Okay, what's the final match? Send me to the final match. Okay, there you go. Hamstar, Kyrie, so Raven and Steve. September 16, 2006. Alright, okay, I'll watch this one match. Even though it's mainly a Street Fighter type, episode, I don't mind featuring other games if said game is unavailable. So this is, I guess this is the only Funland footage I have in my channel. Alright, I salvaged it. What up, what up? Alright, and that's it. I just wanted to feature the final match on that. Alright, so that's Funland. So, right. I think the history with wait. I think the history with Funland, and someone has to know, is correct me if I'm wrong. Where's TOSF Summer's End? I think they did it in this arcade too. Summer. There you go. I don't know. Was it? Someone has never clarified if this was done in. Well, if this tournament was done in this arcade. Someone made. So this is a very old tournament, and I don't know. Someone can clarify, or I don't know what's going on. All right, next will be Love Getty Station. Oh dear God, this is the furthest in the entire list. Love Getty Station. So this is downtown Funland. All right, cool. So this is Love Getty Station, all the way here. 407 Highway 7. I mean 404 Highway 7. So Leslie Highway 7, if anything. Toll roads, almost the northern part up here, and then I'm all the way here. So I've never ever commuted here because it would take 3 fares and almost 3.5 hours. But like that's a little extreme right there to commute. I know people have done it, but and that's something I can't fucking question or some shit. So where are we going to? Game list. Street Fighter 4. So this is one of the very few arcades in North America where Love Getty Station got vanilla Street Fighter 4 upon release in July 2008. One of the very few in North America. Chinatown Fair in New York City. Lester's Arcade in Vancouver, British Columbia. Whatever, I think Arcade Infinity in Southern California. Alright? Etc., etc. Then eventually they got the AE board. We had Ultimate Match. We had King of Fighters 13. We had Guilty Gear XXX and Core, Third Strike, BlazBlue, Calamity, the first 3 versions. Melty Blood Actress again, Marvel 2, CVS 2, HNK, Fist of the North Star, Arcana Heartful, and 401 Emulation. Good thing that I have an overview of this. There were a lot of tournaments that were hosted here. Good thing I salvaged that footage.
Alright,
Yep.
this is Psychochronic, aka Psychorarity here at Richmond Hill, Ontario, a little bit north of Toronto. Arcade, Love Getty Station.
Yeah. I did. I think I did an entire video, an entire episode on just all the activities of Love Getty Station. I did it. Yeah, I think I did an entire episode on just straight up Love Getty. Forest Blazer playing Guilty Gear. You have Act versus Samir. Jet 07. Bort. I don't know if that's Bort. Yeah, Act versus Samir and Third Strike. Yeah, it's basically all these rhythm games and all these cabinets. That's insane. Rambo. This place did not fucking make money in its long run. I think it got closed down in 2013. Became like a hot pot restaurant type place. Commerce Gate. Alright, so that's the Love Getty Station overview, and let's just go back to my channel. Let's see, do I have anything that's Love Getty related? Love Getty Station overview, Love Getty Station activity calendar. Alright, so that was episode 60, and I reviewed everything that was related to Love Getty that I could find on the internet. And there you go. So now we get to a photo album. Alright. There you go. These are some of the images I can salvage off the internet too. So some of the screen caps from me too. So I remember one of the first times we came here, we did a tournament here because they never did CVS 2 and they never did motherfucking Marvel 2 here. We were introduced to this arcade because the Guilty Gear XX Accent Core community wanted to migrate out of Orbit because Orbit still had Slash. So it was basically, you know what, we're all going to migrate here too since we knew Orbit was going to be done for. We're not going to go there no more. So we all ended up going here, which is 25 minutes further west to this arcade. 25 minutes west of motherfucking Orbit. You know, just blow up every picture. Blow up. Vanilla Street Fighter 4, Marvel 2. They had Melty Blood, fucking almost everything that they managed to get first, one way or another. People playing Midnight Maximum Tune. I remember when all of us came here for the first ever release week for Street Fighter 4. Fucking, they didn't have a third kick button or roundhouse button, so they didn't have that wired up, and people were sharing games and stuff. You know, it's $1 a play, which is kind of fucking, which was, you know, I understand at the time. It's the new shit. People want to try it out. It was like watching a birth of a child. You had 70 people crowded around one head-to-head machine. BlazBlue. So these are all the photos I could salvage, and these are some of my screen caps that you just saw in that earlier video. Forest Blazer, Jet 07, Ack. So 98 Ultimate Match, BlazBlue, the Continuum Shift, Marvel 2, crane games, UFOs, Rebello. So what is this? Yeah, Street Fighter 4. Third Strike, Street Fighter 4 AE. I think the final tournament they did was in 2011. And for this venue, yeah, for in terms of a tournament. It was a 3 versus 3 single elimination tournament, I remembered. I wasn't there, but Searoyd, Tylor, Blitzman, Angry Pigs. Alright, and I guess that's it for Love Getty Station. Alright. Next chapter. Oops, and that's done with that era. We're done with the arcade era at this point. Alright, now things got to evolve.
Here comes a new challenger!
Dark Ages / Street Fighter 4 era. 2008 to 2016, an 8-year time frame. Pones Gaming Center. So, even though it starts off, and we start off in this new Street Fighter 4 timeline, this is the place where everyone went to, but it was all the way in Hamilton, Ontario. Vanilla Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, both cross-generation of heroes and Ultimate All-Stars. Alright, so now, alright, here you go. Hamilton, 2 spots, and I'm still at that blue dot. Wait, yeah, I'm at the blue dot still. Alright. I didn't take much pictures of this venue, actually, but one of the best tournaments I've ever, the best tournaments I've ever recorded was Pones Gaming Center. When they did a bunch of, the initial Street Fighter 4 tournaments. You know what? Yeah, Pones Gaming. 15 years ago. Okay, yeah, you might. Pones Gaming Center. Alright, there you go. Use my video. This is the back room. That is ridiculous. Alright, what do I have? A match. You know what? I would like to play a match. Is there anything else from Pones? He said 2 Game 7. You know what? This was the source of Tatsunoko versus Capcom in Canada. Even though I said that M-Trans66 was the godfather, I say that this was the spot where people actually legit played this game. I'll show a TVC match. You don't trust me. So this is the place in Hamilton. Okay, this was, an alternative answer to Toronto. And it lasted pretty okay. It was actually a pretty good spot. Watching random footage of other games featuring a different Toronto area or area local spot. How many more minutes? Karas is fucking ridiculous. but he has no life. Karas has one of the weakest lives in the game. Shin, sure you can. So this is one of the initial spots of constant tournament activity. Back then, when Street Fighter 4 came out, we would have at least 3 tournaments a month. At least 2 of them would be held here. Titan Z. Right, good shit. So yeah. So this was one of the spots during almost a year of vanilla Street Fighter 4 in the scene. All right, StarNet Internet Cafe. So in Street Fighter 4 and Tatsunoko versus Capcom. So I would like some background noise too. So I already, I can feature both videos because I know what they both have. Shit, I went a little overboard. It's okay. Because I know the history. So where are we now? We are at here. Bloor Avenue. So if we're all the way here, where this little red dot is, Dufferin Mall, Bickford Park, Ossington. Alright, so this venue was basically so I'm just going to put some background noise because of what I recorded back then. So this venue was basically an answer to Toronto. Most of you do not have a car, so you're forced to commute. You have no real reason to leave the city of Toronto to play. Going to Hamilton to Pones is, a commuting nightmare if you think about it, and a commuting cost. B, love Getty Station. The thing is, you have people that have main console characters in this game. Rose, Cammy, Fei Long, Gen, Seth, etc. And getting to Love Getty is even further of a mission than it is to, whatchamacallit, Pones Gaming Center in Hamilton, depending on the location of where you are in Toronto. On top of that, we're playing on console, and there are people that play on pads, and arcade you have to play on a stick. Okay, I understand that. So it was one of the players in the scene, a new school E-Honda player, little casual photographer turned, tournament guy. Who wants to enter tournaments, called Dave Rowe, the resident E-Honda, found this place near his house called StarNet Internet Cafe, a little place to play. We just need some space and some TVs, that's it. $6 venue fee, very cheap venue fee, $6 venue fee, cheap snacks, cheap drinks. And we're in a room that you cannot put more than 15 people in there. No heating, no air conditioning, laggy monitors at the time because, you're playing on big screen TVs. The FGC in general didn't go through the issue of, the lagless TVs. That's still an issue that we're still going through in this time frame here that you're seeing. So imagine going through an entire winter, no heating, no air conditioning, 15 plus people in a crammed room, only 2 monitors to play on. This is what we had. This is what we had to do, and that's fine. And this was the spot on Thursdays. We all had fun. This introduced us to the new crop of the player base. Dave Rowe, E-Honda, Paul 187, Guile, Shine. Paul 187, Ryu. Shine, Guile, rest in peace. Elite, Blanca, Shane Walker, Ryu. Train and Ho, Dawson. Led Hendricks, Abel. Watchtower, Chun-Li, Cornwallis, Rufus. just to name, the people that and Wet Worker Ryu. Just to name, the bunch of people. Hey, man, OG era, CBS 2, Marvel 2, Third Strike, not gonna make a comeback. STHD, not gonna have much life. You know what? You gotta focus on the Street Fighter 4. So this is one of the spots we played in every fucking Thursday from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. People from all around downtown Toronto, as east as Scarborough, as east as uh, Vaughan Woodbridge, as west as Mississauga slash Brampton. Yo, we fucking made that trek to fucking come in and play. Get. Alright, so that's one of the matches. So that's Vanilla Street Fighter 4. So I had enough footage from there. And then I managed to record. Let's do one match, just a random match. Dave Rowe had a Wii at the time, so you know what? You might as well fucking get some activity. So we had to play on these laggy ass TVs. So yep, this was an answer of where did Toronto play that was not considered a private residence like someone's house? The arcade is too far, and the only public space is whatchamacallit, Hamilton. This is it, Ossington Station. Right near Ossington Station.
Like, you can have that back. It's a long range. Oh, he missed.
Both jabs are just on the edge. Oh, shit. You gotta block those high, Mike.
Grab it, grab it! Oh, no. Oh, there's that ball.
One-on-one shit.
Here we go, here we go. Oh, it's too small. Where's the super?
One of the very few TVC footage in the scene.
Oh, you can't break it. You can't break it. Make it down. The super. Level 3. Oh!
He did not level 3.
Oh, he missed it.
To
That's gonna hurt.
Guard break that
oh, he mega crashed. I have to mega crash too.
Oh shit. Oh no. Oh, make it cut.
Oh shit. Laggy ass fucking plasma TVs. GG's. Alright. So that's one of the spots that we played in back then. Alright, what's the next spot? Toronto Fight Night Series, Massive New Media Studios, Super Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So this is a little response of what's been going on in the scene at the time. So this is actually, at the time, one of the most controversial weekends because now you have Super Street Fighter 4 going in. Now we've been almost October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 7 months we've been in StarNet Internet Cafe. 7 months we've been in there. It's like, okay, we need a place of where to play now that's bigger than this and that's spacious. And so one of the people, Wet Worker, the Ryu, he black guy, wears dreads, sometimes has a Rasta hat, has glasses, mains Ryu, plays on American styles bat top stick. He has a boy named Von Joseph who has this type of commercial studio warehouse type facility, and it's usually dead on the Friday, so we'll use it as space to play games. All right, so basically yep, that's a green screen, green wall, green everything for special effects because they film commercials and music videos and whatnot. So all right, these are some old ass pics. This is from May 2010. So a lot of familiar names that you'll fucking recognize in these pics to anyone that's watching. So this basically was the first weekend of Super Street Fighter 4 in Toronto. Now you notice that we're playing on these monitors, these little BenQ monitors, specific model. Why? Because we don't want to go through that lag issue. At this point, the general FGC has fixed the whole, you know, TV lag issue. Console lag, that's based on what your native scene is, and in Toronto we play our Street Fighter and eventually Marvel vs. Capcom. We play that shit on Xbox 360. Yo, I see Mira in the background, yo. So this is the first weekend. So it was pretty controversial because at the same time, Pones had a same tournament on the same day. Wheels were already set in motion for this place, and so it provided like a split in the scene. Where do you go? Are you gonna go to TFNS, which is a cheaper venue fee and fucking centralized area and free parking and easy to access? Majority of the competitions in Toronto, not many people have any real reason to leave Toronto because people don't have driver's licenses, and that's perfectly fine. So for about until let's say the beginning of Vanilla Marvel 3 is the we've been in this venue. All right. So where was Massive New Media Studios located at in this map? That I did not put in yet. Symington and DuPont. All right. So you just have to find your way to either Lansdowne and walk it, or Dundas West and take a bus and get off at Symington. It's that easy. All right. And the nearest place to eat, everyone says, let's go to the Portuguese place, which is like in the exact same, you know, where facility. Well, not facilities. It's like a warehouse type complex type area. All right. Heroes World. No commute info as I've only been here once via a ride. All right, that's fine. Street Fighter 4 Super AE 2012 Ultra, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I've only been here once. And surprisingly, that was just to get some games in ST. So where was Heroes World located? Well, the first version of it. Warden and Highway 7. Okay? That is one of the eastern points of the map. Nope, it's the most northern point of the map. And I'm located at the time here, Central Mississauga, red star. All right, boop, boop. All right. So this is the place in Markham. Let's see where we are in the map. Yep, Markham, where you can't go to Toronto to play. You can't go to X location. Now you have your own little comic book hobby shop location to where you can play.
Alright, just watch over the. I just want one of those.
Get to the last. Yeah, just feature the first match. It's okay. So we just showed up just to see what's going on. This is far to get to, guy. Ooh, flash kick in the middle of the super. So so at this time when I recorded, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was about, 2 to 3 months old in the scene, give or take. So people are still, figuring out the game. Nova, Virgil, Hawkeye, Doctor Strange, all the new characters. GG's. Alright, so that's Heroes World. Really not much information on a lot of places. I said that this would be a filler episode, so Heroes World is all the way up here. Yep. So north of Pacific Mall, north of Scarborough, southeast of Richmond Hill, northeast of North York. Alright. Next. A and C World version 1. Super Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on arcade, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition, Tekken Tag 2, King of Fighters 13, Mortal Kombat 9, Soul Calibur 4, Injustice. Wait, Soul Calibur 4? No, it's supposed to be Soul Calibur 5. My fault. 5. Because I went to their launch party. So the first version of A and C World is located at Spadina and Bloor, to be specific, Spadina and Sussex. Yep. So if this is Spadina, yeah, because once you get this little here, little white gap here between the road is the streetcar. Is the streetcar when you go off of Spadina Station? You just get off one stop and then you just walk it here. Alright, done. Photo album. Okay, let's get an overview. Because I have both a photo album and an overview. What video did I decide to fucking put in this one? Just to see how small. So this used to be a karate dojo. Raffle Illuminati. Alright. It used to be a karate dojo, so you have all these mirrors around the place. This is where all the storage of ANC games is. So you have so much space here to use as for gaming. Pop off! Looks like he just busted a nut. He won a stick. Boo! Boo! He won a stick. So this is the place we're gonna play every Monday and Wednesday. Monday for the 3D games and in the anime. Wednesday for the Street Fighter and the Capcom. All right. So yeah, photo album. All right. I have a photo album of a little bit of the venue. T12 Friday only. No problem. So we did the team tournament. Look at this fucking stringy ass fucking poutine nearby on the bus commute to get there. So here we are for our home major team tournament, because held in a hotel on the weekend. You might as well have the team tournament here at ANC at the local spot. This is Vanilla Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So this is basically one of the earliest time frames of Toronto Street Fighter in this venue, because where were you gonna go? People were still not gonna go to Love Getty at this point. I think Pones was dead, and Massive New Media Studios (TFNS) that was ran its course. So ANC finally welcomed us in after finally understanding the scene for about 2 years. You know, this is how we operate. This is how things go. Blah 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 blah, etc. 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 So yeah, we were just always fortunate to have a place to play. Yeah, all the storage from A and C that they could not fit in their little upstairs area, because back then it was just a very thin, narrow store. You know, some of these I would have bought that fucking little Japanese cabinet right there for the right price. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. No, it was the World Warrior. Haha. badges for T12. Combo Fiend, initially supposed to be Mike Ross, but he decided to show up to our major. Jago. So this is still the early days of, streaming and sponsorships and, the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 boom. This is where we played. Dominion Combo Fiend. Yeah, this is where we used to play back then. Every fucking Wednesday was the spot. For about, 3 years, yeah. TOSF HQ. Almost every game that within the span of the 8 years I've been to. I know TOSF HQ is operational as of this post. I have not been there since July 2019. That's why I put that into my time frame. So it's basically anything Street Fighter related. So where is TOSF HQ located? Because TOSF HQ was basically an idea of what they experienced with MTLSF HQ. Basically, for the players, by the players, community spot. This is where people can play. Okay, cool. Where is it located? All the way here. Agincourt North, Middlefield. Yeah, Agincourt North, Middlefield, right near a train yard. The most eastern point in the entire Toronto FGC. So where am I located? I'm located in this little red star. Yeah. So getting here would be approximately 3 hours. Yeah, 2.5 hours actually, because bus, train, another train, and another bus. Yeah, so you're going to Scarborough Town Center, take the 130, get off. It's a storage unit, pretty good place to host, any type of space. And I have a photo album. It's a good thing because I've never featured this photo album. This is all the best shots I've ever taken in terms of the HQ barbecue. So not only do they do their weeklies, they don't usually host like monthly tournaments. Maybe on occasion, tournament here, tournament there. But depending on the weather, seasonal barbecues, seasonal cookouts. 12 appearances in TOSF HQ barbecues throughout 5 years. The fun doesn't stop until 5:15 in the morning, and my first bus going back home from Kipling is 7:20 a.m. This is where I go to practice Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Nemesis T-Type Trish C Viper. Alright, so we're just going to go through every pick. Ooh, a frog. That's not a toy frog, that's a real frog. Basically, it's a storage unit, so it has to be fenced around. Basically, bring in a little tent, a little mini barbecue. Just set up a few tables, set up a few monitors and consoles, make stations out of them. Cook whatever you want in that grill. You got your little community hijinks. People getting sleeping and bodied and fucking drunk as fuck. Food. Almost everything from your basic stadium style eats to sometimes your exotics like tandoori chicken or clams or vegetables, etc. Whiskey is the drink of choice, even though gin is a hood drink. Tandoori chickens, burgers, chili. So yeah, poker. Yeah, I know poker is the thing. People like to play their cards and put up some chips. That's all good. I'm not really much of a poker type person. JS Masters sleeping. Yeah, we haunt you in your sleep. whiskey, Johnny Walker Double Black. This is some expensive whiskey. That is fucking pricey. People can bring whatever the fuck they want. I'm guessing those are okay. Chicken. So we got a Dormammu flame carpet. Fish. Tandoori drumsticks. Fucking. You got your Marvel outside, but inside you got your Street Fighter. Yeah, people do beer pong. Got special guests sometimes coming from out of town. If they're playing on the Dreamcast Green Goblins sticks, that means they're playing on a Toodles disc on Dreamcast, so it could be Third Strike most likely. Group pictures, I take the best fucking pictures. I don't give a fuck. Can't say shit. Why? Because I'm the best fucking historical god ever. These are all my pics from my fucking page. Burglars. That is the tandoori chicken strips. Group picture. Yep, exotics. The vegetables and the mushrooms. Corn. Poker. Ribs. Baked potatoes. Bacon. Yeah, so I know I've always wanted to do an episode about all the local stuff I've ever captured. This is one of them. Best of album. I've been to so many local events, you might as well compilate all the best pictures on occasion. A lot of names that you'll recognize from back in the day, and you'll see how much time has progressed. Dormammu, flame carpet, bacon, Kraken, black spice rum, kebab, pita, purple fire, whiskey. Yeah, so this is one of the things also. I do intend to make a future episode of what the checklist is in this scene, and I honestly think every person should have been to at least two HQ barbecues for the community, by the community type events. Fuck yeah. Yeah, this place has evolved so much. Always has been in this level of like almost like a season, like an occasional renovation. Put this station here, put this station there, get rid of this, get bring in that, etc., etc. Toast, Marvel, Marvel, Bodied. The fun don't stop. So basically, think of this as this area being in a half residential and a half industrial area. Then again, you're near a train yard. So, perfect. Squid, pierogies, Sapporo. Yeah, I always bring a little bit of a beer fucking international blend. So I'd be the type of person to bring Sapporos to this shit. Hell yeah. Toast. Then I got a lot of early pictures. Yep. Wait, nope, not even done. Oh, screen caps from a video. Oh, that's it? Alright, that's it. Alright, so that is TOSFHQ. I got all that done. Yep. Yeah, so for it's still being operational. So it's almost 14 years old. So I always say to anyone in the local scene that doesn't go to tournaments or can't make it to a tournament, at least go to a barbecue. So this is your chance to finally know your local scene. There are people that just go and chill. They don't really go to local activities. The majority of the player base got way older. Wouldn't be surprised if you have people in their 40s. UTSF, University of Toronto Street Fighter, AE 2012, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Alright, so a school group, school club that just wants to host and prepare themselves to enter the local scene. Not really much. St. George Station, go south. Alright, done. Then you just play, you just enter their whatever lobby area, just a little leisure area, and just play. Alright. Not yeah, as I said, school group club, you know, to explore the local scene. Super 1-Up Games version 1. Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 30th, and then Street Fighter 5 all the way up to Season 4. Alright, so where is Super 1-Up Games located? All the way here, King Street in Hamilton. So the most southern, yep, this is the most southern point in the entire map. The entire map of the scene. And Retro Run Back 1. Right, Retro Run Back 1 was taken place in 2014. Finally get some retro emphasis, and it was all about the Street Fighter 4, all about the Marvel. The first ever, wait, Retro Run Back, no, that's Rumble in the Tundra 4. Alright, Retro Run Back 1, there you go. There you go, finally. All the retro games that you can think of and play. First time ever that this has ever been done. More games were added. Shout out to my boy Vince RXS for hosting this shit. Yeah, we have all CVS2s and everything that we could. Alpha 3 cabinet. This is the first ever tournament in the history of Toronto Street Fighter and area for Vampire Savior. Actual board, yeah, we brought actual boards for this shit. So an actual tournament. Marvel, but on Xbox 360. Gundam Extreme Boost, Alpha Anthology, Third Strike on a fucking showcase cabinet. So yeah, this is the back room. Mastic, CVS2s. Yeah, we just got stations. So this is where the Hamilton scene plays their Street Fighter 4 and eventual Street Fighter 5. The closing of Pones, where else are they gonna go? A and C World Version 2, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, ST and Arcade MKXL, Injustice 2, KOF 14, and Street Fighter 5 going all the way up within Season 1. So A and C World decided to move from Spadina and Bloor all the way to North Chinatown. We were there not long. I would say about a year and a half, give or take. Yep. Yeah, Spadina Crescent, the circle, going down on the streetcar. Then you get on College Street on the north. Yep. It was a good ride while it lasted. I don't know if I even have any pictures or footage from that place. I don't think I did. Oh well. So this was the final time that ANC World, and then they decided after a 5-year relationship, maybe it was time to kind of move on and shit. Next chapter, all right?
Here comes a new challenger.
Street Fighter 5 Era 2006 to 2020. Meltdown Toronto. Street Fighter 5 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Arcade. Do I have a photo album? You know what? Yes. I'm going to showcase a photo album from Super Turbo Showdown Finals, because that was one of the best tournaments I've ever entered and that venue has ever seen. So, this venue is apparently operated by someone from Mississauga who goes by the name of J-Pots. He used to use he got into the scene from Street Fighter 4, then eventually played Marvel 3, didn't play much in tournaments, eventually ran his business, and here we are. So 2017. So this is the place where the scene temporarily hosted tournaments for Street Fighter 5. So I'm just going to show what I thought was one of the best events ever hosted in this venue. Super Turbo Showdown. So they had CRTs, they had everything. CRTs, fucking PCs, monitors, etc., etc., etc. Very small, narrow space, but you know, kind of do what we had to do. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, they did Money Match in Street Fighter 5 in the middle of it. Then we continue on with the main event of ST Super Turbo Showdown. Basically the first time that you ever had like a regional team tournament. Very hard to pull off, trying to get the best players available, including Montreal. Whoop, whoop. Initial name Kings of the North. Alright, that not bad. So this is where, yeah, Toronto temporarily played for a bit. Next is Akiba Kissa Manga Cafe. Now I've never been here. It's just it's very far. Okay, where was Meltdown located? Meltdown. Now we're in Street Fighter 5 Era. Okay, Meltdown was located in College and Beatrice. So, okay, we'll continue with Meltdown. Meltdown, so you basically had to go to Christie Station and walk it 15 minutes, or you have to fucking find your way to College Station and just Bathurst and College and just, you know, having to take the streetcar. So this is basically, yeah, Little Italy for a temporary time being. Akiba Kissa Manga Cafe. It was one of the very first manga cafes, full out manga cafes, and they had extra space, so they had their own custom built cabinets, and this is where people of Markham contemporarily play their Street Fighter 5. So it was located, let's see, 407 and 404. That is far. That is ridiculously far if you think about it. Whereas Shepherd, Steels, yeah, you gotta go to Steels and then you have to go up to J Town. Yeah, this is a very far venue to get to. This I did not have pictures of, but I did my research of it. So it's like, okay, another place in Markham to play Street Fighter 5, and hopefully there was interest in the weekly activities. Almost done this episode. I said that this would be a very filler episode. Raiders Esports / The Hive Esports, December 2016 to March 2020. all versions of Street Fighter 5, 30th Anniversary, ST, Marvel, everything basically Toronto Top Tiers has ever hosted, continuing on from A and C. Now we got Space. Every Wednesday's Space. Every Mondays, okay, Mondays for 3D and anime and Wednesdays for Capcom. All right. So it's a good thing I managed to get an overview shot of this shit. So we played every week. It was almost like a makeshift arcade. This is where we played. By 6 o'clock Wednesday, you'd have fucking everything would be set up. By 6:30, people would be filing in 7 o'clock tournament time. And if there's not a tournament for your game, at least play the game casually. This is what, okay, how many times have I been to so many of these where there's no tournament for ST? A lot. So this is how I learned Fei Long. Just show up and just play casuals all night. One of the very few places. Yeah, so where was Raiders Esports? This little green. Young St. Clair. So basically, you had to go take Young all the way, go up to St. Clair. Actually, it was a very good spot. I didn't mind it, actually. Good food, good drinks. Very spacious. They cater to us very well. Alright, next. Super 1-Up Games version 2. So, another Hamilton spot and the continuation of Super 1-Up Games. This little green dot right here. Little green mark. Street Fighter 5, all 5 seasons. 30th Anniversary. Street Fighter 4, ST with Alpha 3, Marvel 2, yeah, and ST in a cabinet. They had their own cabinet. So, yeah. Yep. So, Retro Run Back 2. So, the sequel of Retro Run Back 1, just done 4 years later. Alright. There you go. Not much. Not many pictures here, but got what I... Yep, CVS 2 in a cabinet. Marvel 1 in a cabinet. Alpha 3 in a cabinet. All the food only in this table. Hey, that's my table, and scratch, no food on the table. So people had to travel all the way from Toronto and whatever area to get here, which is a very far mission, especially if you're a commuter. That shit is like fucking expensive on the GO train and shit. Fighter 4, Def Jam Fight for New York, banned the tier list. Yeah, so it's basically a game shop, but we're in their basement. Little private gaming area. Toodles disc. Yeah, we play on the Toodles disc sometimes. Old school official anniversary stick. Def Jam Fight for New York. Marvel 2. Hitbox. Yeah, pretty good space. Alright, a place where Hamilton can play. Landlord's Gaming Center. Street Fighter 5 up to Season 4. So my understanding, I've only been here once. You know, they try to put... CVS 2 to try out, and that didn't work out. So basically Christie Station, but you gotta go through Laundry Lane, which is basically like a little alleyway, then you go down a fucking stairway. It's basically almost like an underground spot if you think about it. So my understanding is that this is where the Mortal Kombat people play on Thursdays. So basically, let's get the Street Fighter and or anime people to play here on Fridays. That's all I know about. No pictures from it. Yeah, I've just only been here once. And I guess the final part is Waves Gaming. So, Waves Gaming is located all the way up here. The Concord board. Concord? Yeah, Concord. Yep. So basically, you get off at motherfucking whatever, I think Pioneer Village, and then you just take another bus going on Steeles on the west. You get off and you see some type of warehouse type facility. So Waves Gaming has Street Fighter 5 up to Season 5, Street Fighter 30th, Guilty Gear Strive, and Tekken 7, based on my observation of how when I've been there. One of the last places of Toronto FGC that I visited when I was in town for Halloween 2021, and found out that that was the final Shockwaves monthly hosted at Waves Gaming, hosted by Incendium. Alright, so this is the first Electric Clash. So this was one of the very few Tekken 7 tournaments where they had a $1,000 pot bonus, the Challenger, rather than the dojo. So pot bonus, X amount of people flew from all over from America. I showed up because this is my boy's event, Incendium, so I just wanted to support my boy RX's, help out and also compete in it because I also play Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, only 3D game I can play. Yep, there you go. So it's basically you have a this is all 3D games, Soul Calibur 6 and Dead or Alive 6. Tekken 7 being the main emphasis. So you got all these fucking setups. You know, people wanting to get that fucking, Pro Tour points and shit. Soul Calibur, Virtua Fighter. Basically, if you are a 3D game player in Canada at the time, especially Tekken, you had to go here. You had Shadow 20Z, you had motherfucking Anakin. I know those were the only two names that I recognized that attended this tournament. Virtua Fighter. Welcome to Electric Clash. Esport. Very, very spacious. Very fucking. You can't complain about the space. Almost like an esports level type production. Podiums and private commentary areas. Someone brought their own station just to play some Under Night and Birth. Electric Clash. There were medals here. Blast Blue Cross Tag Battle. Joey Fury. Thrill Ho. Shockwave. Okay, so Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Fighters, bi-weekly every Wednesday. Alright, gotta add Dragon Ball Fighter. Alright, and that is it. Let me just add. Alright, and I guess that is the end of that episode. I said that this would be a very quick filler episode. So this is episode 74. This is my TOSF Locals Map of all the places I've ever been to and explored the local scene. And thank you very much. I don't know when the next episode I'm going to do, but I've been on 74 episodes and I still have a lot of, research to do in order to do more future episodes. So thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I hope to see you all next time. Alright, let me go back to, yep, there we go. Thank you so much.